guy. Thank you.
Fans outraged. Major concerns over Jin's privacy as he casts his vote. Why did Jin keep hiding his face from reporters? Jin lowered his head and pulled his cap down even further as he left the polling station. Surrounded by dozens of cameras pointed in his direction, the global superstar appeared determined to avoid the attention he never intended to attract. The scene quickly captured public interest and went viral across social media platforms. Many fans began questioning what had happened that made Jin appear so cautious about becoming the center of attention on that particular day. On the morning of June 3, 2026, Jin attended the polling station for South Korea's 9th National Simultaneous Local Elections at the Hanam-dong 3rd Polling Station, located within the Jung-gu Technical Education Center in Yongsan-gu, Seoul. His appearance was initially expected to be nothing more than a simple civic duty carried out by an ordinary citizen exercising his democratic rights. However, what unfolded at the site sparked a broader discussion about the balance between public interest and a celebrity's right to privacy. From the moment he arrived, reporters and photographers were already waiting to capture every movement. Cameras followed Jin as he entered the polling station and continued documenting his every step until he left the premises. The situation left many fans uncomfortable, particularly because Jin was reportedly hoping to vote quietly in the early morning to avoid causing crowds or disrupting other voters. What drew even more attention was Jin's apparent discomfort with the situation. In several photos that quickly spread online, he could be seen attempting to conceal part of his face and avoiding camera lenses whenever possible. Many fans interpreted these actions as a clear indication that he simply wanted to maintain his privacy while participating in what was, at its core, a personal civic responsibility as a South Korean citizen. The incident soon became one of the most discussed topics of the day. On one hand, media organizations viewed Jin's appearance as highly newsworthy due to his status as one of the world's most recognizable entertainers. On the other hand, many questioned whether a global superstar should still be entitled to personal space while exercising the same rights as any other citizen. So, what exactly happened behind this viral moment? Why did so many fans feel that Jin's privacy had been compromised? His appearance suggested that he wanted to experience the day as an ordinary citizen. This perception became one of the main reasons public reactions escalated so quickly. Many felt that Jin had made a genuine effort to avoid crowds and attention, only for circumstances to unfold differently than he had hoped. According to discussions within fan communities, Jin reportedly chose to visit the polling station early in the morning in hopes of voting before crowds gathered. This is a common strategy used by many people seeking to avoid long lines and excessive attention. However, upon arrival, numerous reporters were already waiting. The situation appeared to catch him off guard. Fans analyzing his expressions in photos suggested that he seemed slightly uncomfortable and unprepared for the level of attention he received immediately upon arrival. One of the most discussed aspects of the event was how cameras appeared to follow his every movement. From entering the polling station and proceeding through registration to eventually leaving the building, nearly every step was documented. For some observers, such coverage was simply part of journalism involving a major public figure. For many fans, however, it raised questions about where the line should be drawn between news coverage and respect for personal privacy. In several widely shared images, he appeared to lower his head and pull his cap down, covering much of his face. Many fans interpreted this gesture as a clear sign that he wished to minimize attention. They viewed the action not as disrespect toward the media, but as a simple attempt to preserve a sense of personal comfort. This interpretation quickly gained widespread support online. Many argued that Jin's reaction was entirely understandable. Regardless of his global fame, he remains an individual deserving of personal space. That perspective became even more prominent after stories emerged suggesting that Jin had arrived without making any special preparations for a public appearance. One detail that attracted particular attention was his lighthearted admission that he had come directly after waking up. The comment immediately went viral. Rather than focusing solely on his discomfort, many internet users found humor in the statement. Countless people joked that they could not believe Jin claimed to have just woken up and not even showered before heading to the polling station. The reason was simple. In the photos that circulated online, he still appeared remarkably polished and handsome. Many jokingly remarked that Jin's version of just woke up looked vastly different from everyone else's. Such comments flooded social media. Internet users from around the world expressed disbelief at how fresh and composed he appeared, despite honestly admitting that he had not prepared extensively before leaving home. The topic eventually became one of the day's most discussed headlines. Yet, beyond the jokes about his visuals, the primary focus continued to return to the issue of privacy. Fans repeatedly stressed that the core issue was not how Jin looked that day. Instead, they highlighted the fact that an individual was subjected to intense media scrutiny while carrying out an ordinary civic responsibility. Many argued that the day should have allowed Jin to participate as an ordinary South Korean citizen, rather than as a global superstar. This perspective gained support because Jin has long been known for consistently fulfilling his civic responsibilities and obligations. For that reason, his attendance at the polling station was not surprising. What stood out was his decision to arrive early and quietly, seemingly in an effort to avoid crowds. Many viewed this as evidence that he did not want his presence to disrupt the voting process for others. Fans praised what they saw as consideration for fellow citizens. He did not arrive with a large entourage, he did not organize a public event, nor did he appear interested in attracting attention. Instead, he attempted to handle the occasion as simply as possible. Ironically, that very simplicity became the reason the moment attracted even greater public interest. As more photos emerged, discussions intensified regarding the boundaries between public interest and celebrity privacy. Nevertheless, one aspect of the situation received praise from nearly everyone: the way Jin handled it. Rather than publicly expressing frustration, he remained calm and composed throughout the experience. In the photos and videos that circulated online, there were no signs of anger or exaggerated displays of dissatisfaction. He completed the voting process respectfully. He cooperated with election officials. He fulfilled his civic responsibility without incident. This composed demeanor earned admiration from many observers. Interestingly, amid all the privacy debates, another topic repeatedly resurfaced in public discussions: Jin's visuals. Every new photo sparked another wave of comments praising his appearance. Many social media users admitted they found it difficult to believe that someone claiming to have just woken up could look as though he had stepped out of a professional photo shoot. Similar reactions appeared in multiple languages from fans across the globe. Some even joked that Jin's comments only made them more envious. The phenomenon once again demonstrated how public fascination with him remains as strong as ever. Even during one of the simplest activities imaginable, Jin continued to draw extraordinary attention. Yet, beyond discussions about his visuals and popularity, the incident also served as an important reminder. Despite his global fame as a member of BTS, Jin remains an individual entitled to the same rights as every other citizen: the right to vote, the right to carry out personal activities, and the right to enjoy a reasonable degree of privacy. That is why the event continued generating discussion long after it occurred. The conversation was not simply about Jin visiting a polling station. It became a broader reflection on how society treats public figures in everyday situations. Ultimately, what many people remembered most from that day was not the viral photos or the endless comments about his appearance. Instead, it was the image of a global superstar waking up early, arriving quietly, fulfilling his civic duty.
안녕하세요.
여기까지만 부탁드릴게요.
뒤 한 번만 살짝 한 번만 손 한 번만. 네, 감사합니다. 안녕하세요.
여기까지만 부탁드릴게요.
뒤 한 번만 살짝 한 번만 손 한 번만. 감사합니다.
안 씹었다, 안 씹었다. 네.
구독, 좋아요, 알림 설정. 야, so fun. 오케이, 바이바이.